me was first improve the way I performed at interviews. And this was something that I had never imagined in my life, that I wasn't performing good, because in the past my method was completely different. And thanks specifically to the mentorship, the coaching sessions, as well as the training classes and courses that followed, I was able to really have another different way of standing at interviews online and in presence. Plus, the great help in tailoring made my CVs with applications. And then thanks to Kobe, just after a few months, since I started in around July, August, already in October I got my first job offer, and now it's February 2026, almost March. Now I am in my current company. I really do what I was looking for, with all the benefits I was looking for. It's really the ideal situation for me that I was so struggling in the past to achieve. If you are having issues, troubles, if you're really struggling in getting a job, no matter where you are, to really just drop what you're doing, contact the team of the Code Academy, and start this new path of your life and career with them, because honestly, something that everyone should do. If you're struggling, they are the solution.
I must say what I love about Ecobee is to have the support, as you mentioned, and especially the sincere approach, working with the team and knowing that there's always somebody there to help you and to guide you, go through the applications, and who are there to apply for the positions you're looking for. So it's an immense help. I think anyone who's looking for a job today, mid-level to really senior positions, somebody, he doesn't want to spend too much time, even though it takes time to prepare, but someone who can really guide you and follow you and apply directly for many positions, which will give you extra time to prepare for other positions. Thank you, AQB, for all the support.
When I decided that I would like to change my job, I got in contact with Hippertt based on a recommendation of my friends. They immediately helped me and got in contact, and then gave me a lot of support, a lot of advice. Their help, we also sent out more than 50. Out of that, I would secure a couple of interviews, multiple reviews and requests for a first talk. A couple of interviews with companies, not just with agencies as well. And with their help, I was able to secure my current job. So I never regretted to get in contact with them. I'm very happy. I'm still happy to work with them, and I can just only recommend.
Olá, eu sou o Thiago, tenho 45 anos e moro no Rio de Janeiro. Antes de eu conhecer a Ecobee, eu estava muito frustrado com os processos de recrutamento e seleção. Não é normal pessoas qualificadas enviarem centenas de currículos e não receberem sequer um retorno. Eu entrei na Ecobee no dia 14 de agosto e menos de um mês depois, no dia 12 de setembro, fui contratado para uma posição de TI numa das maiores empresas de telecom da América Latina. A Ecobee apareceu na hora certa. Me ajudou com o planejamento de carreira, com as candidaturas e também com a preparação para as entrevistas, sempre com muita agilidade e presença. Sou muito grato ao apoio e à parceria. Procurar emprego não precisa e não deve ser um processo solitário. Obrigado, Ecobee.
Good evening, everybody. Very good to have you here from rainy Geneva. Before we start, I would love to hear a little bit from you. Where are you coming from? If you can type on the chat there, that would be great, because we start to build a community here, and it'll be very good to know where you're coming from. So I'll just read a little bit as we start having on the chats. So we have here people from Geneva as well, Brussels, some people from Portugal, Germany, the Netherlands, Croatia, Copenhagen. We have someone from Copenhagen in the team as well, Zurich, Zug. Excellent. Finland, that's great, that's great. Really international, the way we like. Really good. So let's go straight to the point, guys, because We value a lot your time, and we really appreciate your presence here. So I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to start the presentation. So, hope you can see my screen. How to get a job interviews and offers in this market today. So we're going to share the 5-step job hunting system that senior professionals are using today in Europe and worldwide to land jobs faster. So I'm very happy to share some of the pictures here of some smiles of people that went through this process. So what we're sharing with you here is something that was tested and it works. It's not something that we are building as we fly. It's something that is tested. So I would like to start telling you very honestly, if finding a job feels harder now than it was before, please know that you are not alone, okay? We've been talking to hundreds and hundreds of people, and this feeling is all over the place. Strong professionals are struggling today because experience alone is not enough anymore like it was before. We're going to talk a little bit about the history of job hunting. I started there, and it was much easier than today. So we have more filters, more competition. AI tools are flooding the market with applications. You can't imagine as an HR how many applications I receive per day. And it's slowing the hiring process everywhere. So the timelines have extended across Switzerland, Europe, Brazil, with people we speak all over the world. So this is not about your value. It is about the system you're using. So I wanted to start this conversation with you today, sharing with you from HR, never question your value. If you're here today, it's because you have very valuable experience. And this will help you to show to the recruiters to be able for you to be able to show this as you deserve. So talking about value, so why watch this? Why invest your time? So the value for the job seekers will be to get an effective strategy from these presentations today and tomorrow, so you can reduce the time you spend on this transition period and reduce the effort. So what we want is to share some knowledge built over 20 years of experience, so you can increase the probability to have interviews, so you can spend less time in the search and waste less effort. So good candidates do not look for a job. They run a project. So today we all need to be project managers because it is very competitive. So basically, I spent 20 years on the HR side. Tonight, I switch sides. We're all on the same side here. From HR to you, no secrets. So where the knowledge I'll be sharing comes from. So I had the opportunity in my career to hire 1,000 plus professionals in more than 10 European countries. I was able to also have the opportunity to build more than 8,000 individual development plans, which helps a lot to know how you need to adapt to the needs of the market today. So all this in 20 years. So I've been providing services and working for CEOs, COOs, CFOs. So I was by their side when they were analyzing the CVs. So I'm going to share with you a little bit what are they thinking when they are reading that. And I have had the opportunity also to work in 4 multi-billion revenue global organizations, very international. So those that are among the most profitable in the world, which is they're very selective. So what I've seen in terms of selection, it's something that if it works for this company, so it works for the bigger companies and all around the world, because these are leading companies that use some of the most advanced recruiting processes. So, for example, worked for the largest chemical company in Europe, in the agri-commodities trading, in the energy commodities trading, some of the top four. And I started my career in the largest energy company in Latin America. So I was born in Rio de Janeiro, started working there. Then I built a little bit my career plan. I had the opportunity to go to London. So I worked in London. And then I was headhunted to come to Switzerland. And when you come to Switzerland, the only problem is that you fall in love and then you don't want to leave anymore. So that's where I am today. And but it was good because the positions I had here in Switzerland, I usually I was overseeing several European countries. So I know a little bit about different countries in Europe, a little bit of Asia as well, a lot of South America, but it's mainly Europe. So what I'm going to share here works a lot for Europe, but it can be applied in other places, in other regions as well. Okay, but I'll be using examples mainly from Switzerland, but also from Europe, but from our colleagues that are from Kenya, I see there, from other places in the world, there will be valuable content for you here as well. A little bit about history. I love history, was always my favorite subject, but in case you like as well. So the eras of job hunting. So job search has evolved a lot, and time alone no longer wins the race. I don't know how many of you were in this market in the late 90s, okay, the pre-internet phase, where people would spend 30 minutes a day to find a job. Newspapers, mail CVs, in-person visits, and word of mouth. Okay, then some people that, like me, started their careers from the year 2000 to year 2010. That was the early internet phase. We used to spend 40 minutes a day looking for a job. If you want to put in the chat who has started their careers in this phase here, the early internet, I'll be glad to have a look. So we faced the first job boards. I don't know who remember Monster, Indeed, that's still around. It was the time of email applications. You would send your CV. You start having these ATS systems where you would upload your CV. Then the LinkedIn era came from 2010 to 2020, where LinkedIn has made a revolution on the job market. I have several meetings with LinkedIn every quarter, and it's amazing how they're still evolving. Okay, I'm going to share a little bit this in the after, but now they are putting AI to help the companies to use the filters, the video interviews as well. So, but they really, when they arrived, they incredibly changed the way we look for a job. So the networking online has really kind of increased a lot, and people would spend much more time looking for a job, in average 85 minutes a day. But now something without precedent is happening in this market, which is the AI assisted era. Today, senior job seekers are spending 15 to 24 hours per week. So about 3 hours a day looking for a job. We're facing, in the HR side, AI auto-apply tools, which we estimate about 1/3 of the applications as well already. The candidates also face these so-called ghost jobs, 1/3 of the listings, a little bit less, positions that you never receive feedback, which is quite frustrating. And LinkedIn, they shared that with me in one of the last meetings, was 14,000 applications per minute. So the conclusion is volume of applications without structure does not work in this AI assisted era. You now need a system that combines both. Okay, so the applications and all the other actions that you need to apply to have more chances. I'm going to share this in details in the next slides. So how long does it really take for senior professionals to find work? And we're going to look into Switzerland data. So the average duration in months that people take to find a job. So in Switzerland, where you have a very low unemployment rate, around 3%, people take 6 months in average, all groups. Okay? If you look only to university educated people, 7 months in average. People aged from 50 to 60, 8 months. And I follow this with our team every year. So from 2024 to 2025, this has increased about half a month more. So the market has never been so difficult. But look, I'm a very optimistic person and I want to share this with you. But the way today, we never had so many powerful tools to help us. So what we're going to share here is there are some very practical ways for you to try to accelerate that. So why applying alone is not enough? Because today you have more than ever crowded channels, hundreds of applications for the same role. I don't know who had already the opportunity. You look for a new role on LinkedIn. When you see the day after 100 applications already, some applications more than 200. Feel free to share in the chat. So it is unbelievable the amount of application that per job today. So if someone is asking in the chat, ghost jobs are actually jobs that nobody has feedback. So people apply and nobody receive any return. So there is sometimes the company does that because they're obliged to comply with some internal policies or some country policies. I personally hate to do that. I never do it. Some cases, which is very bad practice from companies, they post just to feed in their talent database, which is really not nice. But the good practice and a lot of companies that they make sure that everybody who apply actually get an answer. So AI filters. So the ATS, applications tracking systems that now are using AI. So they screen most of the CVs before a human ever reads them. So basically, these systems, they match the keywords from the job description compared to the keywords of your CV, and then they eliminate most of the CVs. We estimate, basically, from my experience, so 70% of the CVs, they don't reach the HR department, they are eliminated directly on the system. So it is quite important to understand that and use the techniques on your CV so your CV can pass the first gate. And then the third thing is, today, more than ever, relationships matter. More than half of the roles are filled through networks before they even get posted publicly. So it is quite important also to develop this other side of the job hunting. So we're going to explore these three areas. What is a better system then? When you do applications, you need to keep the volume. But when you add outreach, basically what's the outreach? I do an application, I send a message, normally via LinkedIn, to very key people related to this application to create visibility. I would love to know from the chat who is already doing outreach, which basically is sending a message to key people related to a job post that you have applied. And then the third element is networking to create the leverage, which is the famous referral. So a system that uses the 3 points, really people get into a competitive advantage. So this is what makes the difference of people who get hired faster. Of course, it depends on the profile, it depends on the sector, etc. But very good to see a lot of people who are doing outreach already. We're going to talk a little bit about some tips. Let's go. 7 out of 10 candidates use AI. Okay? Not using AI today is a disadvantage, but AI tools are not enough. I've been using AI since 2023 on my side in HR. I was criticized by a lot of colleagues. what are you doing with AI, etc. And I never criticize a candidate using AI. Whilst my colleagues were, oh, this person is using ChatGPT for CV. I said, yeah, smart them. The tool is available for everybody. The difference will be who uses it better and who actually has the judgment not to allow AI to think on their behalf. AI will help you, but you're still on command. So what AI can do for you, draft and edit your CV, suggest keywords for ATS optimization. You put a job description, you ask AI to identify the keywords, and then you ask AI to suggest a version of your CV using highlighting these keywords. People doing that works very well. Help you prepare answers for common questions that you may on an interview or even prepare a CV, and help research companies and roles. We should never apply without knowing at least the basics of the role and the companies, because you need to guide the AI. So what AI cannot do, decide which roles you should actually target. You should choose them. Your time is precious, so you really need to focus. So to build recruiter relationships on your behalf, AI cannot do. Only you can do it. Follow up consistently over weeks and months. So AI will not manage the project for you. You can be great with Claude doing programming, but you need to have your own system to manage your project, your job hunting project, and adapt your strategy when not working. You need to understand how the job hunting strategy works, and you drive and hold you accountable to a weekly system, because this is you. You need to manage a week to be very effective on this, to keep your motivation, to never doubt about your values. AI cannot do that for you. So we have developed these methods that use AI as one coordinated tool inside a structured system. Because what I see is a lot of people that come speak to us, they are lost with so many kind of AI apps. And every day there is a new one. But you need to have a strong system, of course, checking what's coming new, what's effective, but you need to have a coordinated approach. So AI will give you the content. The system you build will give you the results. I would love to know how many of you are already using AI to help on job hunt. I would guess most of you, because that's what we see with the people we speak to on different parts of the world. So let's get to it. So what are the five-step job hunting? What's the five-step job hunting system we recommend people use? It all starts with number one, clear positioning. Okay, what is positioning? It's a clear offer to solve specific problems a company has. Okay, so we use a lot of concepts from marketing. I see my marketing colleagues. So basically, what do you offer? What is your value proposition? This needs to be very clear for you. And what I'm seeing more and more is like specialists get interviews, generalists wait more. I know because I started my career as an HR generalist. Now I'm more and more focusing on the HR leader to implement AI in companies, to do transformation projects. So because I'm seeing specialists get much more value in the market. Number two, targeted applications. So they apply to fewer roles with higher alignment. So adapting every application before sending. So no more generic CVs. Every application needs to be customized. This was not possible 10 years ago, but today with AI, it is possible. But we'll talk about that again. I mean, it's not just taking copy and paste from ChatGPT or Claude. You really need to judge, to make your own decisions, and revise before sending. But today, you can customize, you have targeted applications. Would love to know also who is customizing one CV per application on the chat. Then the third point, which is outreach after each application. They follow up directly with hiring managers, HR contacts, or people in the team after every application submitted. Number 4, networking before the roles open. So they build relationships with the decision makers before the vacancy even exists. And finally, number 5, to have a structured weekly system. They follow a repeatable weekly routine of applications, outreach, networking every week until they get the results. Of course, what I'm saying here is a perfect system. You don't need to be perfect, but you need to seek for the most effective cycle following this program. So basically, we know it's hard. You have weeks that we have more energy, weeks you have lower energy, but you can try. You should try as much as possible to follow this routine. That's what we see working. Okay, based on all the people we help and all the lessons learned we get every week. So, how then to build and run a plan for you? So let's take your next 30 days, okay? So for each week, my recommendation would be for you to have a clear goal for the week. Clear prompts to use with your AI tools and a deliverable by Friday. So by day 0, you set up your routine. Can be tomorrow or on Wednesday when we finalize our webinar. So build your job hunting draft plan. On week 1, you're going to work on a job hunting strategy, which is basically your final plan to job hunt, your LinkedIn positioning, and your master CV. So this is the material, the preparation you need. Week 2, you are all in, searching for jobs and applying. Your application routine is fully ongoing. You can target 5, 10, 20, or even 30 positions a week. You define according to your availability, according to your energy, plus the CV's customization for every application. I love to look into the comments here. Network is the best solution. Some people say, absolutely. Network is very good. But you need to cover all the points. Okay, keep doing all the points because one thing will feed the other. Because by seeing which positions are open on LinkedIn, you can focus on networking as well. So then, week 3, exactly on this. Focus on network and outreach. You keep your application machine going, but you are focusing on network and outreach. You build your outreach and networking plan. And week 4, you're going to prepare to win because you will win. Okay, so I know a lot of people that we speak, they believe that's never going to happen. The market has changed so much. I'm too old. No, you will make it. Okay, so you're going to prepare for the win because you will win. So you start an interview preparation. So to really kind of focusing, you've seen a lot of job descriptions. What are the key points of your experience you're going to use? You're going to prepare for the most common interview questions. And even you're going to start preparing for offers. Okay, what's my minimum target salary? What's the full compensation I'm looking for? Because it's important for you to picture where you want to be. You see yourself with this package. You see yourself in this company that you want to achieve. It's quite important to keep your confidence levels high. So after day 30, you should have a system running weekly until you sign. So after 20 years inside HR, I kept hearing the same questions. Can you help me with my CV? Can you help me revise my LinkedIn? Can you introduce me to this person? Or can you help me focus because I'm too generalist? So I decided to do something about that. To really help. I mean, my time is limited, so I couldn't help too many people. But I wanted to, not because I needed to. This is not my core business, but it is for me after working in HR, I had a lot of opportunities, and I want to be able to give back this knowledge that we built, because I see too many good people stuck today and suffering. So for people who otherwise would waste a lot of precious time, we try to build something that consolidates everything, and we keep updating that every week. Because trying to figure out alone today is quite hard. We have too much information all over the place. So we wanted to give job hunting advice, senior grade one, to make this accessible for as many people as possible. So insider logic, the same things I learned to hire 1,000 people, I'm reverse engineering now to share with you. So it's built to increase your probability to find a job faster, giving you structure, system, and follow-up. Because it's not luck, it's a lot of work. Of course, the more you work, the more luck you have. And what has motivated me a lot was, so we were with the team. I have people in the team that have been working with me like since 15 years. Anna, for example, that I think is connected here. So we've been kind of collecting all this information. And so we created an academy to store all this knowledge and to keep feeding. Because now we have data scientists, so people that are really building up this knowledge. And as we use a lot of AI to make this system work, for every person we help, we plant a tree in the Amazon. A small gesture to symbolically offset part of the impact. But I was last year in the Amazon, was absolutely amazing. I met the local people. It was very good to see people that were extracting wood from the forest. Based on education, they were able to educate his daughter in this case, and she's now working the environmental management, and so she's the one kind of helping us to plant the trees in the Amazon. So the more people get involved in this, the more positive contribution we give to this market. Because also the impact of AI is something that concerns me a lot as HR. But also we give symbolically also to give this contribution. So I just wanted to share this very quickly here to plant a little bit this seed for the people that have interest in this subject as well. So there could be Academy formula to get hired fast. So I come back to the 5 points, but now being a little bit more precise. So in the positioning, you define your target, your value, your niche. As much as you can, focus on a niche, the more probabilities we'll have. Number 2, visibility. You revise your LinkedIn profile, plus you understand what is the recruiter search logic. And then what are the recruiters on your area focusing? And you make sure your LinkedIn is kind of reflecting that. And it is important for you to be constantly revising that in your posting. Number 3, smart applications. Targeted CVs that pass the ATS filters. We'll go into a lot of details on this because I know you guys asked on the poll that the team has shared with me. Number 4, outreach and networking. A weekly system to create leverage for you. And finally, the interview conversion. Structured answers using HR logic. So sharing the results this method has had so far. So the people who applied this method in Switzerland, they found they had their offers within 3.5 months on average, versus the 7 months average that a typical university educated person takes in Switzerland. So there is a 2 times faster potential based on this sample that we have until so far. Of course, it all depends on the profile, it depends on the market, on the positions you're looking for, depends on specific market conditions. Of course, this is just average, just data, but I'm just sharing this to encourage you. Okay, so when you put structure, when you put directed effort, you can have faster results. Because people who were in this situation, they were sometimes very, they were not optimistic at all. So we had to constantly be reminding them that they need to believe in the method, they need to believe in their values and keep pressing, because one moment it will work. Now let's dive into each detail. So I'm going to share with you how to do each of these points. Positioning. So define your target. What value you bring, how you help the company solve the problem that has created the opening, and what is your specialist angle. So someone was asking the HR logic. So the HR logic, yeah, you can ask AI, you can ask anything to AI, but I'm going to share with you here because it's always better to hear from a person. The HR logic is, when we have a job description, we write that. And we're also using AI to write that. So for you guys to be very comfortable, we're using AI also to filter people. So you have all the rights to use AI on your side, but keep your judgment again. So for example, we have a problem that we need to increase the responsibility in one area, or because we're losing clients here. So we create a position. So you have then, this is the job description. So you need to identify what's the problem they want to solve. And your CV needs to really focus, your positioning needs to really focus on how your profile, your experience can help solve that problem. So your LinkedIn, your CV, everything needs to be adapted according to these positions. The other thing is choose 2 to 3 maximum target roles, because you need to focus to be the best on this specific, in position yourself for these 1 or 2, 3 roles. Then articulate your clear value. What do you do? Who do you do that for? Which kind of sector, which kind of companies, which geographies, and what results you can deliver specifically for them. Specialists get more interviews, and journalists take more time, as I mentioned before. So I'm going to share for each of these points one real case. So meet Miriam. Before, when she arrived from Belgium, I see some people going from Brussels. She had a broad experience, general position as marketing manager. She had no offers. So she contacted us via LinkedIn. We helped her to reposition as digital marketing specialist, because based on our analysis, we saw that the amount of demand for this position were increasing a lot. So she had 10 interviews, 3 offers in about 3 months. She's now EMEA marketing communication specialist at DuPont in Geneva. I'll let you read her testimonial here, but basically what I explained. Yeah, so someone is asking here, should I change my LinkedIn for every position? No, that's the thing. It's a higher level. So what is the positioning that will cover the target roles that you are focusing? Okay, so that's you need to be a step back a little bit. You need to be something a little bit more, a little bit wider, that will focus on. But of course, I mean, you will be every now and then adapting your LinkedIn based on the position that you're looking. So for the other colleague that has asked, the focus is networking. Indeed, man, you can really focus on that. That's a strategy. But the open positions on LinkedIn will help you guide your focus. Talking about LinkedIn, make recruiters find you, not the other way around. It shouldn't be only you hunting for jobs. They should also hunt for your profile. I do with the team a little bit. I'm constantly updating my LinkedIn and posting and increase my visibility to test a little bit to the timings and how often recruiters actually approach you. So I'm going to share the next slide, I think, a little bit of a case with my profile. So the things I do to get recruiters contacts. But in general, so optimize for recruiter search logic. You need to have the right keywords on your LinkedIn profile, specifically the good headline and a very strong about section. Your profile is a positioning document, not a CV, almost as if you were a marketing strategist. You need to have visibility on LinkedIn. Visibility on LinkedIn is a skill that can be learned and improved. I'm going to share on the next slide how to do it. But I wanted you to meet Bruna. And so she had a profile that was more invisible for recruiters, so without inbound contacts. After optimizing her CV, she had recruiter messages within days. So she found a job as senior ESG and legal compliance manager at Samsung, one of the companies that is doing very, very well today, by the way. I really recommend looking for jobs at Samsung. So the Ecobee Academy 5-step method gave me a clear framework to build my LinkedIn to attract recruiters, focusing on what companies were demanding, what the companies were demanding at the time. So it made a real difference as the market was saturated with legal professionals, but not with ESG specialists. So of course you can't become a specialist from one day to another, but that's why you need to have a strategy to start building that in advance. And the good thing is with AI, you can learn very, very fast nowadays. So let me give you a little bit more tips here on LinkedIn, because I know it's very important, and I really want this to help you. So 6 LinkedIn moves that produce 8% of recruiters inbound for senior professionals in 2026. That's what I do on my LinkedIn as well, to test the methodology. So 1, the headline, that little sentence you have below your picture, is like a real estate. It's like this sale board that you have on selling apartments. So use all the characters. The format could be something like your target role, the key skills that you have, one quantified result if you can, and the default job at company, whatever, shouldn't be used. It's invisible. So sometimes people just see your picture and the headline. Hence, the second point is photo. To have a very strong photo and use the banner. The banner is gold. You have 20 plus times more views if you have that. So you have a professional headshot. Today you have a lot of AI apps that do very good treatments, to be honest. Nano Banana is one. Neutral background, eye level. Banner reinforces your specialty in one line. Profiles without photos get 14 times fewer views. I get these things from LinkedIn reports. Someone is asking, LinkedIn Premium account is essential for visibility. I wouldn't say essential, but it's very good. I know it's an investment, but sometimes you can buy 1 month. Sorry, a little bit off the record tip here. You can buy 1 month, you can cancel, and then I think they give you 1 month free as well for those that need to make more attention on the financial part. But it's very helpful, I need to say, the premium LinkedIn account, because you have the emails you can send, and somehow the algorithm treats better people who pay. So 3, the about section, it's a positioning. This paragraph you have where you can describe. So the first 3 lines decide if recruiters keep reading or not. So the first 3 lines are the key. Lead with the problem you solve. Use the first person. Mirror keywords from 5 to 10 target job postings. You can also go to AI. You take 10 job descriptions you like to say, help me optimize my about section based on these job descriptions. I need to focus my experience to this. So it's a good exercise. Number 4, experience with quantified results. 3 to 5 bullet points per role. Don't need to put like 10 or 15. At least 2 measurable outcomes: revenue, percentage, cost saved, team size. Use the CAR methodology to describe your experience. Challenge, action, result. Challenge, action, result. By the way, you can use that for the interview as well. We'll talk about interviews tomorrow. Number 5, because you get interviews. You need to believe that. Number 5, skills. 30 to 50 listed. The top 3 with the pin. So the skills you are selling, you should prioritize, not the skills you have. So endorsements, you can ask people who work with you, your friends, to endorse your skills because it helps you when people are searching for people for profiles. The more endorsements you have, more on the top you'll be. So verified skills receive 30% more recruiter messages. So tomorrow you can ask your friends to verify your skills, people who actually know you and believe in your value. Number 6, open to work. I recommend doing recruiters only mode. Use recruiters only settings, not the public green ring. I'm not a fan. I mean, people have different views, but I don't like the to put this open to work public. If you're employed for obvious reasons, because you're employed, your employer would see that. But even people that are searching, you undervalue a little bit your profile. But of course, I mean, I fully respect people that like to do that because of their urgency, etc. But I think it's better strategically um, to to make people see that look, they need actually to work to get your profile as well. So recruiters with paid LinkedIn seats still see you, even if you are open to work only for recruiters. The advantage of the green ring, to be fair, is that some people that you know that are from the network see that you are looking for, but and can contact you. So honestly, I mean, I don't want to be very strong here. Different strategies. This is what I advise to our mentors to speak to our people uh, at a certain level of seniority. So from inside HR, profiles that hit all the 6 points here, they have 3 to 5 times more recruiter messages based on our data. Okay, the lessons learned we have. I'm sharing a little bit mine here. By the way, feel free to connect on LinkedIn. It would be a pleasure. So how I want to position myself in the interface of people, technology, and sustainability. So I want to see the HR as the HR that articulates these 3 points. People because it's HR. Technology because it's the digital transformation. AI. Why? Because I know the market needs that. All the companies are going through, oh, how we're going to implement AI for everybody. The boards are asking, the shareholders are asking. So, and the third thing is that sustainability. Not only because it's a very important trend, because I believe that's my mission today, the social environmental part. So it's where I'm positioning myself. Then you see the headline here, senior HR executive. So that's the role, kind of role I look for example, if I was looking. It's not the case, but partnering with CEOs and boards to deliver. So what's the value? People, strategy, performance, and innovation. And what's the differential? Through technology and ESG in complex multi-billion businesses. So basically here is the measurement, the a little bit of the positioning that I put myself as well. I put here to illustrate as well, open to work, but only for recruiters. Yeah, it's not the case, by the way, for the records, but it's just for sharing here. And then keep your profile visible, at least one post per week, and constantly growing your network. We'll talk about that after. Then the step 3, CV that passes filters. So 500 to 700 words, the key is the magic number for CVs, role specific, built to pass the application track systems and impress the humans. Use the card method we spoke before, adapt your CV for each application we spoke before, avoid generic CVs, empty buzzwords or metrics-free descriptions. So case of Viviane. So basically, we helped her, the course and everything helped her with the structure and direction. So she came from no interviews with interviews, 2 large banks, so ABN AMRO Bank and ING. So basically it was a very good CV, very well positioned that got her these 2 interviews, and it was a very good result at the time in the market. She has chosen a third company, but that was good. So let me share the 10 principles of a perfect CV. Okay, so there is the 80-20 rule. I'll ask your attention more to principles 2, 3, and 9. They produce most of the interviews. Okay, the rest is a little bit complementary. So first, the sharp headline on your CV, roles, specialty, target market. This is what we see in the first 5 seconds. Basically, this plus the companies you have worked for and your titles, it's first thing the HR look at. So especially if you don't have a lot of companies that are known or strong in your markets, your headline would be even more important than your skills. Second, the value proposition. You should be able to tell us why we should hire you, not what you do. Third, quantitative impact, revenue, return on investment, conversion. In every role, this you need to have. Action verbs first, no passive voice. Not responsible for, but achieve it, deliver it. 5 keywords density. Match the job description. This will pass the ATS. Win the human scan. You can even bold the keywords on your CV that are relevant for the job description. 6, the right length. Never more than 2 pages. And if you don't have a lot of experience, even 1 page is okay. 3 pages is a little bit of a stretch already. Clear formatting, 1 front, 2 weights, 1 accent color. No kind of fancy CV. ATS have problems with big layouts and just simple. 8, clear chronology. Reverse order, the most updated, of course, and then you go down. If you have a gap, not a problem, you just explain. I was focusing on development, training. I was focusing on traveling to make my profile more international, or even, honestly, I was taking care of my family. Companies are more and more knowing that this is part of life and everybody has the right to do that. So, and 1 CV tailored per role. And then verifiable claims, no inflated titles, no invented metrics. Be careful because the AI tools can hallucinate and can tell lies. So you need to make sure you correct that. So here is a good example of a CV. Of course, we don't go into results, but into the details, sorry, but just wanted to show here. So it's a real CV. Okay, of course, I changed the personal information, but name. Here is the summary here, the title. Okay. Then the profile. It's a summary of what the company needs to listen. Okay. Then the core competencies and the tools and platform. More and more important nowadays. Professional experience, title. You can see a lot of numbers here. Okay. And education. You don't need to put high school, etc. And certifications, languages. Simple, straight to the point. So how do I read this CV? Here are the 10 strengths of this CV from an HR perspective. Trilingual native level. Very important for the role, for this targeted positioning. Continuous experience relevant to the job. Quantified results in every role. Budget ownership stated in absolute terms. Clear vertical career progression. Specialist, analyst, manager. Cross-border EU experience. A very good tool stack. This is very important, guys. I mean, really see which are the tools that are more important for your sector. Really focus on that. You take 2 hours, you do this training, you add to your CV. And then master degree at 2 pages, ATS friendly, keyword rich, etc. Now let's do a quick exercise. So why this title here is good? You can put in the chat here. So number 1, why this is, I'm kind of highlighting number 1 here as a good practice. Why this title is good. And number 2, why this profile description is good. Okay. I'm going to share here. So why these points I'm highlighting here as a good practice. But here I'm checking a little bit of questions here. So I don't like to use Canva for CVs, okay? Simple Word document, straight to the point. IT skills, very important to have there, to mention, more and more important. So, but let me give you here the answer. So it's a sharp headline, roles specialty target market, okay? EU and US and Swiss market. Number two, value proposition, very clear. So drive multi-channel growth for B2C and tech-oriented business across Italy, etc. Then quantify the impact, action verbs, keywords, etc. Here is a bad CV, okay? I won't spend a lot of time, but you see no headline, buzzword profile, zero numbers, passive voice, no keywords, etc. So this is to avoid. This is illustrative. I never received the one as bad as this. Outreach. What I suggest is 50% applications, 30% outreach, 20% networking, one insider. And I'm going to give more details tomorrow. The first message, you will likely be ignored. Count on sending the second one. And 20% of your time dedicate to networking. So build a relationship before the roles open. The case of Nicola, so he got an interview with Pepsi, Zurich Insurance, and then a third one, the luxury sector that he took. And the outreach he did, it was a position focused on the American market, and he sent a message to the CEO directly and said, I'm your man for the American market position. This is why. Boom, boom, boom. And then it was a little bit fun, and the CEO asked the secretary to contact him, and he made an interview, and then boom, things happened. Networking is becoming known, so not asking for jobs. Build a relationship before. Run a weekly volume across different targets. 25 to 30 connections per week. Not only on LinkedIn, but also in person. In-person networking gives 3 to 5 times more conversion than LinkedIn. Okay, I'm going to come back to this tomorrow, okay, with more details. But then, so this is the program that these people have followed. It's called this Job Hunt Reset, self-driven program. Basically gives the strategy, helps build the strategy to reduce time and effort. So people get more chances in find work that finally feels like yours. So what was the pain that they had before starting the program? So I do not know which roles to target. So the program brings the job hunting plan plus the 2 to 3 target roles. My CV gets filtered out. I apply, I hear nothing. So they learn how to do the ATS ready master CV, how to customize one CV per opening. It takes 15 minutes lesson, and then you have the templates as well. Recruiters cannot find me on LinkedIn. So on the program, they have how to redesign the LinkedIn. What are the guidelines? I lose momentum and motivation. So on the program, they receive a message on Monday to plan for the week, and a review on Friday in WhatsApp. Plus they have access to the community, and they had access to the Q&A session to keep them motivated. I freeze when I have to do outreach or the interviews. So giving the templates, the reminders, the prep documents, and the simulation practices, you start to get more and more comfortable for when the time comes, and it will come. So HR advice to create the prompts and to give you the knowledge, and the system that goes with the program helped them to keep applying and keep implementing that. What is the cost of a long job hunting process? So if you take someone in Switzerland that has a salary of 100,000, every day that they are unemployed, and of course, when they're not having, and I'm not considering here any kind of unemployed benefits, but it's 305 francs a day that we lose when we are unemployed. So if a program can help someone to find a role 10 days faster, it's already 3,000 francs back in the pocket. 30 days faster, 9,000 pounds back in the pocket. 60 days, 18,000. So the self-driven program, these people participated, helped them land offers in 3.5 months on average. versus the 7 months in Switzerland. So this helped them to really avoid a loss that was quite significant. So today more and more people are looking for this kind of services on the internet, on LinkedIn, etc. But when you buy these services alone, you end up spending a lot of money, like career strategy advice, LinkedIn review, people that review the customization. The problem is you don't learn it. So the next time you go to a transition, you need to kind of go to the service again. So the idea is to really share the knowledge so you can learn. So and so basically what we charge on this program is a price that is more than what we are sharing here today, because we're really kind of appreciating you've been following the work on Instagram. And so we have created a bundled self-driven solution that is 1,350 francs, and we're going to explain what comes with that. And on top of that, on top of a course, what people get here is a WhatsApp daily momentum and tracker, the EcoB Academy community access, and a bi-weekly live Q&A with the head of HR, so directly with myself, and access to our job bot, so which is a tool, an AI tool that helps you building a job hunting plan and that delivers you job openings via WhatsApp. When the position is open, it's captured, goes to your WhatsApp, you go to your dashboard, it's there, you can keep track. So why are we doing that? Of course, I mean, we try to build something because strategy alone is not enough. Giving just the knowledge, what we saw was that people don't necessarily apply. So it's quite important to give a system that makes sure people apply. So the support system is what makes people actually finish, do what they need to do. So the 3 layers working together. So we have the course plus 3 layers. So the WhatsApp momentum. So every Monday morning, the action plan, the prompts, and one deliverable to be done by Friday. Then Tuesday to Thursday, you use the job bot that delivers 5 to 10 match roles per week, well, of course, whenever available. And then Friday afternoon, there is a review nudge. So for you to review what's stuck, what needs to be adjusted, and a tracker. So for every action, every application you have applied, it's on your dashboard. Then you have bi-weekly access to the Q&A. So 1 hour live with myself. You can submit your questions in advance in the community that you have with a lot of other people that are in the same situation, where we share lessons learned, etc. We have our job analyst teams that group these questions, that share insights from the market, which companies are hiring more, etc. So we talk about all that on the Q&As as well. And the community, where our job market analysts, they post the weekly job market intelligence. They give the real-time Q&A when they can answer directly. You have visibility of what senior candidates are doing. So we share. It's a community to share knowledge, share good practice, success stories shared. We have past clients who come to share their experience, to basically say, look, I was in the same position. I was at a moment I didn't believe this would work. And then all of a sudden I got the call for the interview. And helps you when you share some targets here, you work to deliver that. Because courses alone, very rarely people actually go until the end, and very rarely they implement everything. So this support system complements and makes sure people actually do it. So to summarize here, the self-driven program, it's a 30 days to build the system, but you start already executing from week 1, and then you keep running that on a weekly basis until you find a job. So phase 1 is plan, you build your foundation. Phase 2 is the execution, you run the 5 steps method that we looked. And then the third phase is when you start preparing for the interviews, which basically from week 5. So you have this weekly momentum structure via WhatsApp because something everybody uses is practical. And we share the 10 expert prompts that I have developed, and the team is constantly improving. We're always improving. So you can use Claude, ChatGPT, whatever you use. But our job bot, we open for you as a bonus the job hunting strategy and the job search that for you to use. Then you follow the 5 points here. So job hunting strategy, where you build all this. Then you build the materials, LinkedIn, Mass CV, etc. Then there is a search and apply, where the system finds roles weekly that you can complement your own search. Because then you can customize the CVs based on the prompts we give and the templates. Network and search, so so you can send the outreach and then you can prepare the interview. So you run the system weekly. So you follow the course, you receive the message via WhatsApp, you join the community, you join the Q&A, so you're not alone. You always feel we're working as a team. So these people that have followed that from three and a half months in average to find, they spent about 7 to 12 hours per week running this. They used all the 10 expert prompts. They built the system in less than 30 days, and you have full 90 days access for the course community and the live Q&A. So basically, this is what is included, the part where you learn, so the 30-day job hunting course plus the Q&A. Then stay on track is the WhatsApp daily momentum follow-up, the bi-weekly group live with myself, the EcoB Academy community, is all included. And we're giving as a bonus something that normally is not applicable to this program, but we're giving to you guys, the career strategy position and job applications plan, which is, and the job bots sending the roles via WhatsApp. I wanted to say this is available for the whole of Europe, okay? We are going to, this is where our job market analysts are fully prepared. Very soon, we're going to launch in Brazil as well. But for the moment, all of Europe, we have enough knowledge to be able to support properly. So today, our market department has provided this 50% off. So the price on the website is 2 times that, but today we're doing for 1,250. There is a way to pay 3 times. We know difficult times, okay, but of course there is a whole cost to do that properly, that we need to make sure that we run with quality. And also there is a price in euro here for the people that are in Europe. So it's a 3 times 519 approximately. The one thing I also wanted to say is that for the people who join, you have the opportunity to upgrade for our Job Hunt Reset program, the partnership program, where for the people that are applying weekly, customize the CVs, and writing outreach is draining the energy, or you don't have time because you have another job or because you want to focus on networking. So on this upgrade, you can ask our team to do the customizations with you, to do the cover letters with you, to do the application support with you, as well as, of course, helping you optimize the LinkedIn, optimize your CV. And for the people who upgrade, they have a kickoff call with one of our mentors, and they have the daily WhatsApp support. Of course, we wanted to do that for everybody, but we need, I mean, there is a cost. We need to pay the people, pay the systems, etc. So there is a need to upgrade to have access to that. If you need more information, don't have time here to go to two products. After you register, you can send an email to us at ecob@ecobacademy.com, and the team will contact you to give you all the information as well. And the team is sharing on the chat the link if you want to register and if you have any questions as well. Here is a testimonial of someone who did the upgrade. This is a message that was very important for me because it was an ex client, a previous client who referred, and then she wrote back to her, "Dear Miriam, hi Miriam, thank you for checking on me. I'm doing good. I just had a mock interview with AQB and have an interview this Friday with one company. Thank you so much for recommending them. I absolutely love working with the AQB team. It's so much better when someone else is taking care of applying. I took the full package upgrade. Ever since all the stress is gone, can't thank you enough." So for us in the team, it's an incredible fulfillment when people actually find their offers. We suffer with the people, and we're very happy when they actually find the job. I want to be very honest with you. There are no shortcuts. Please don't believe in people that promise you magic formulas, okay, or that promise you guarantees. No one can guarantee because you depend on a company to have a position open. You depend on someone interviewing you and finding you a match. But what we can deliver is a proven system that has worked for a lot of other people, a consistent weekly execution, and insider expertise from HR to you. So, and we have a shared commitment guarantee. So we stay with you for 3 months, but more 3 months if needed with no extra cost. So you have access to our 90 days, but without conditions. If you're still searching at month 3, we extend access to more 3 months at no cost. So you drive the work on the self-driven, you access the course community and Q&A, and we keep that access for you. And for the people that upgrade, you keep access to the mentors, to the WhatsApp support, with the real human mentors for more time as needed as well. How the AQB Academy is structured. So I have myself, I built the system. I'm almost optimized the system. I'm on the Q&A sessions. For the people that upgrade, they have access to the coaching and mentors. They have access to the back office that does the applications for them, with them. For the people that stay on the self-driven, so basically they drive with our expertise, with our support, and with using our systems. They have access to basically our AI and data team that are overseeing the tools to make sure it works, to make sure if you have any questions how to use, they clarify. So it's a human-led structure, but supported by data and technology. Tomorrow night, we'll see what most candidates miss on everything that we talked about. And we're going in more details and I'm sharing more insight, more cases. But plus, I'll show you how the job bot works and to do a dashboard demo. Basically, how the job bot delivers 5 to 10 weekly roles to WhatsApp for you, how the system runs searches for you automatically. And I say thank you very much for our technology team, Vitor and Mas. So Vitor is from Bahia, Brazil, lives in Portugal. Mas is from Copenhagen. So our team is very international, so they understand about a lot of markets, and how it keeps tracks for you. So when you apply for a job, you just click apply there. It registers for you all in one place in your dashboard, easy to follow. And then a smart sheet for interviews. I'm going to share tomorrow how you prepare for interviews and then how you prepare for the offers, because you need to believe it will come. And every day in the morning, you need to picture that. You need to picture yourself receiving that offer. And I'm going to share a case where it was 2 weeks ago. I also sent a video in the WhatsApp group. We had a candidate from Zurich that received 3 offers from top 3 companies there, including 2 leading banks. So I want to keep some time for you to ask questions, but just wanted to say before, to keep the quality, we limit the amount of people that get into our program every month. So now we have a limit to 50. It will be first come, first served. Here's the price again. The link's in the chat. You can apply now to secure your position. But let's go to the questions. Really appreciate your time, appreciate the questions and the comments, and really looking forward for more questions. I have Andrea, our analyst, that is collecting here. Yeah, it's applicable in Finland and any other country in Europe. People from other continents, other regions, they can drop us a line to it could be at ecobacademy.com to tell about their country, and it could be applicable there as well. But to be very honest with you, the strength for the moment is Europe, and we have the launch in Brazil planned very soon. So is it only for senior professionals? Um, I would say this was designed to work with senior professionals, but because the senior professionals complexity is higher, okay, but it does work for entry levels as well, okay. We made something that works for a higher demanding type of roles, but it also works for more entry levels or junior profiles. We did have a lot of clients. I can say one that is a past client of us, Marco here, that was entry level. So he has worked for Richemont, Philip Morris, and he was an entry level, for example. So yes, it is useful. Yes, we do have coaches specialized for life science professionals. So our head coach, by the way, has worked for Johnson Johnson. I don't know if she's online. So Patricia saying hi to her. Um, so yeah, we try to have coaches that have different areas, and for life science, definitely we do have. And again, on our community and on the Q&A, we'll be constantly sharing market analysis for different sectors as well. Our market analysis team is covering like luxury, commodities, energy, food and beverage. I mean, we're always kind of constantly researching more and more. Um, so what can we do to avoid missing opportunities? Yeah, create the alerts. That's quite important. Go to LinkedIn, to the company's website, because on a job hunting plan, you need to have your targeted companies. Go to the company website, create the alerts on LinkedIn. And for example, for the people that can and want to join our program, we have the automated cycle. So our job bot is every day. It's every day looking for new positions. So it makes sure you don't miss, of course, I mean, whenever possible. And that's one of the first to apply. Um, for academic researchers, I wouldn't say is our focus to get academic jobs, although people that are PhD and then they want to come to the market, to labor market now, absolutely. We just had one PhD client from Italy that wants to come to Switzerland, and it works very well. And the market really values PhD professionals. Um, so freelancers, I think it's a separate market indeed. It's not an area that we focus a lot. So it's pretty much corporate roles, to be fair. Um, so if we have specialists in IP, patents, no, but uh, we do have legal experts in the team. What about junior professionals? Will they start at work? Yeah, as I said, yes. We did have uh, junior participants. Of course, we try to do something that works for the seniors because that's where the complexity is higher, the demand is higher. You need to have a more refined, a more sophisticated system. But it does work for juniors. So basically, you have even more than you need. Um, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of companies that love PhDs. I agree. I agree. Um, Yeah, finance, very strong area. One of the testimonials that Andrea was showing at the beginning is is a head of finance person. The other case we shared there in Geneva, Carmen, is also finance transformation. So definitely. Yeah, so you can start whenever you want, okay? Because if you're busy or if you're on holiday, you can start whenever you want. It's a self-driven program, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to have a nice kickoff. So Mas, one of our mentors, uh, he will do a kickoff next Tuesday, right, Andrea? We said big kickoff, but yeah, if you guarantee your spot today, you can start in this kickoff as well. But to be honest, I mean, if you want to start after, there's no problem at all because you do at your pace the self-driven program, and the support is there if you have doubts. And if you want to upgrade as well, you can also start whenever you want. You have a dedicated mentor for you. Your agenda drives their agenda. Uh, yeah, how to best network in Switzerland. Let me share that. So LinkedIn is still very powerful. Okay, so what we do in our program is we define the target companies, we identify the people in these target companies, you start sending the connections, and then after you when they accept, you interact with them. There are the seminars that are very good also, but also sports events. People love to do sports here. It's a great place to network as well. So we build a full networking strategy, and as we work in this sector, we start to understand. So people from commodities, what they usually do. And then we start kind of which kind of seminars they go, and we start kind of being able to guide. It's quite properly. Um, So career transition from one industry to another, transferable skills, absolutely feasible. We do that all the time, and it works very well. So I have some concrete examples on this. Nikolai is one that has migrated from insurance to the luxury sector. Um, we have Bruna as well that has migrated from the energy to the engineering sector. And what we're seeing a lot today is it is quite important for us to prepare to make the transition to go to the sectors that are booming. So, for example, car making, it's a difficult sector today, but you have a lot of transferable skills to other sectors, for example, renewables, um, uh, electric technology, etc. So we do have a lot of business cases that we can help on the transition. Um, Export compliance, absolutely very helpful for you. Export and import is something that is growing more and more, becoming more and more complex, where the supply chains are being disrupted all the time with all the geopolitical problems we're having. So compliance on that is quite important. So we did some work on this, and it's something that we are familiar. So the team definitely can help on that. Um, yeah, so it's quite important to secure spots. I mean, our team here is saying that we have a lot of applications already. So if you can, of course, I mean, if you can secure today already, it's important. Tomorrow will be it might be a different number for the number of spots available already and the conditions they're telling me here. Material sciences, chemistry, and energy technology. Very, very strong sectors. We know a lot about the market in Germany. I personally have worked a lot with Germany, and specifically, I know a lot the chemical sector. We did place a materials engineer here in Switzerland recently. And by the way, the chemicals and energy industry in Europe are recovering very fast now, for a bad reason, of course, because of this the war in the Middle East. But so the imports from Europe have reduced dramatically. So it's really kind of recovering the industrial sector, chemicals, energy, etc. So it is a good timing to focus on these markets now in Europe. International sports organization, we also have worked with people. We have UEFA, you have the International Olympic Committee in Lausanne, where they constantly posting positions. So yeah, we do have experience in that as well. Also the sport brands as well. Adidas, football clubs. We also have some experience on that. Big Fours, companies to banking, absolutely possible and a very good move. I have worked in one trading company here in Switzerland, and I have some friends in the banking sector. They love to hire from the Big Fours. Okay, so in this company I worked in Geneva, the CFO, the chief investment officer, they all came from PwC. They were mainly coming from PwC in that case, but all the Big Fours. And by the way, one of our partners of EcoB comes from KPMG as well. Very good school. Very good, very good. And the companies really, really like that. Corporate brand and marketing. We do have a lot of people as well that we support in these areas. Miriam was an example that I shared here. So we helped her to really focus on the digital. We really believe in the digital marketing. It's something that's growing a lot, something that we strongly advise people that we are supporting there as well. So all this, we share in the community. We share in the Q&As. We're constantly, of course, I can't speak to every individual because it would be impossible time-wise, but the team collects, I share in the Q&As, the team is constantly feeding on the community, and you guys sharing among each other good practice, because you're not necessarily competitors. You're from different sectors, sometimes different countries, so why do that alone if we can do it together? Yeah, so wasn't a Big Four guy now working in the manufacturing sector, but I need to know if my profile can be marketed as a finance guy because I started as a TA especially. Yeah, definitely feasible. Designers, I personally know a lot about graphic design. I know a lot of people from the sector. It is feasible. It is a profession that is being massively impacted by AI. So one differential we always suggest for people in the communications area, but also in the design, is to really become a specialist in AI. HR to finance transition, that's an interesting one. I would say feasible depending on their background. I have a lot of HR colleagues that are engineers or finance with finance background. Yeah, I think feasible. So you will benefit from the program. You can click on the link and enroll. And if you have any questions, specific way how to pay, etc., or technical questions, you can ask the team there. Clinical research. Yes, we just started with a client from the Netherlands in this area. Okay, I personally know the founder of a very interesting company. I strongly recommend for this person. I don't have the name, Andre. I don't know if you have the name, but it's a company called withemerald.co.uk, if I'm not wrong. They do actually using AI. They help people reach top health performance. So he was a doctor and he migrated to the med technology. And we do have some networking in this field as well. the clinical and medical. Nanu, and answering that for you. What else? Living in Belgium and cannot find job in another industry. Various manager position. This is a very typical, Giri Hadus, very typical question we face, and something we're comfortable to help positioning. Coming from one sector to another, even from one country to another. But again, as I said in the presentation, let's try to find where you can be a specialist, to find your niche, something that you're interested, something you are good at. So med tech companies, definitely. Switzerland is very strong with Nanu on that. We did place people there. We do have also some contacts that can give us tips on med tech companies as well. And by the way, there is another client of ours that he was a salesperson in the IT and he wants to focus on med tech. We're helping him to build the storytelling and to build also the background, the courses and everything that is important there. 15-year career break to raise family. How to valorize transfer skills, especially with CAS in management. Starts training from HST plus 30 years freelance translation experience. Yeah, so this is a case that where there is a need to look into more details. What kind of courses you've done, what skills you have developed, and then really try to find a niche that can leverage from the beautiful experience that you had raising a family to see where you could focus on the market. But for example, if you get very good with learning, why not thinking about a school, for example, management part of a school? So this is the kind of brainstorming that you can do using the knowledge that we do in that we provide in the self-driven, or if you do the upgrade to partnership that the mentors would help you to do. PMP certification. I'm a big fan. I did myself, Helen. Very good. Not only for the market, but for yourself to run. That's what I'm talking about. To run your job hunting as a project is exactly that. The PMP has changed my life, and it is an advantage. I think I probably got my last job because of this, because it was to manage HR for the biggest chemical project in Europe for the last 25 years, and my PMP certification has really helped. Indira, yes. So special price today for the partnership program. Yes, we do have. You can enroll on the self-driven, and then you can send an email, and one person of our team will contact you tomorrow. You just put on the email that you're interested to upgrade already. One person on our team will contact you tomorrow to give you the special price. Is it possible to choose a mentor? Depends on availability. You can discuss with our head coach about that. She can give you, I'll not say a lot of options, but at least a couple of options for you to choose. What else? What about software engineer? Just move it to Sweden. What do you think about German language skill? Software engineering, high demand. Okay, very good profile to work on. German language skills, high demand. But if you don't have, not a problem. I don't speak German as well. And we have placed a lot of people that don't speak German. You have the Swiss Romand that is booming, very strong. German and French compulsory in Switzerland? No. It's a good to have, but I've worked with a lot of people in international companies here in Geneva, Lausanne, Zurich. It's absolutely not necessary. Moi, je parle français. Je parle pas allemand, but you don't need to. Okay, what else? Thank you, Osborne. What's your opinion on the semiconductor and nuclear power industries in Switzerland? How strong are the... Look, nuclear has come back very, very strong. Okay, so semiconductor is very strong also in Switzerland. Definitely great potential at Galleria Helvetia. HR transformation in cybersecurity, very strong. Cybersecurity is something. If you have 1 hour free, I would strongly recommend to do a little bit of research on cybersecurity. There's a lot of positions on cybersecurity. Of course, if it matches your position, but in HR, we have a lot of confidential data. So imagine you are an HR professional working on the niche of cybersecurity for HR, working hand in hand with IT. Very good positioning. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I don't want to try and then make a mistake. But S.T. Then what if you don't really have any desirable skill experience? I'm sure you have, Sandra. We all have. I'm sure you have. You just need to look carefully, analyze all the aspects of what you did. You will have, and see what's in demand. And if you don't have something that's really demanding now, we will help you to do the right courses, the right researches for you to develop and position yourself. Thank you, Alfonso. I moved to the Netherlands, senior software engineer, big demand. It's really hard to find a job without speaking the Dutch language. We have a lot of experience in the Netherlands because I have opened a company there, the Petrobras Global Trading. I hired like dozens of people there for this company. We have Vitor in our team that has worked there as well. We have Bruna that we placed that is from the Netherlands. And a lot of them a lot of people we placed there didn't speak Dutch. You can be a strong candidate. There's a lot of international companies there, and we have the list, and you can make the plan, and really you can find there. Be confident. You can, especially in software engineering. Would like to get your evaluation on the probability of transition to commodity trading. That I know a little bit of the market there, without much experience in this field, but with a good diploma and with my profile. Look, you can send an email to the team. I mean, we have someone specific that has worked on the commodities sector as well, and he has been working with me for quite a long time already. So the context, the tips, the skills, what I know, he knows as well from his experience and from what I shared. So you can have a chat with him. Fabrício Saint Patricia here, our head coach, so she can organize for you. Let me just find your name. Aki Nomus, right? Yeah. So you can write, you can speak to Patricia. She's here in the chat. You can send an email to ecobi@ecobiacademy.com, and we can arrange that for you. It is feasible. It is possible. There are a lot of very good online courses on commodities. You have the Swiss Trading and Shipping Organization that has some good courses as well. You can connect to the right people. You can read the right articles. You can post the right things. You can connect to the right people, as I mentioned before. And yeah, definitely is feasible. When I was working in the commodities industry, we used to hire people from other sectors. Absolutely. If you have transferable skills. Oh, Slavika Tepska Ribeiro. Thanks. Ribeiro. So you probably might speak a little bit of Portuguese. So yeah, thank you. Thank you. When UCV has only 4 to 5 jobs with very diverse experience, yeah. How do you show a clear direction without inventing job types? Yeah, you should never invent, but you need to find as if possible, something that kind of aligns and drives some coherence on your storytelling CV. Of course, we would need to see a little bit more specifics, but and to be honest, I mean, the most important thing will be your most recent experience, so you can focus on that as well. That's what we mostly look at, the most recent. So Andrea, what do we do? Oh, okay, yeah. So okay, that's personal assistants. Yeah, I mean we did place executive assistants in the banking sector, for example. Um Remote jobs are growing, uh, just so I would say it is possible, and we'll need more and more experienced people. I hired in my career dozens and dozens of over 60 and hundreds of over 50s because I have worked in projects where experience was fundamental. And now with AI models, it's quite important to have the people, to have the judgments, to be able to train the models. So I'm always very optimistic with people, despite their age, despite the number of years of experience. Is it a red flag for recruiters when applicant plus than 40 and never had any managerial or supervisor roles? No, absolutely not. The world cannot be managed only with managers. You need people to actually do the job. So it is absolutely normal, not a problem at all. I'm in the business analyst role, but I'm thinking might be better fit for the change management role or something more dynamic. Could I explore that with you and how? Yeah, so you can definitely explore that with our team. You can contact at Sepan King. So again, as I said, we have a capable team that is very trained on the methodology where I share every week with them my experience as well. And so they would be able to have a chat with you definitely on how you could change for a more change management role. We believe a lot in change management role, like transformation projects, digital transformations, etc. So we have experience in that. You can speak with the team. The only thing is that so I have for me it's very hard to give the individual attention to everybody. That's why we built a team, we built a company. Because I mean, on top of it could be have a lot of other projects and corporate commitments, but that's why we built a strong methodology, a strong team, a strong academy, and a strong system to be able to support as if it was directly with me. But you see there are a lot of very capable people that add more knowledge that I don't have in different sectors as well. Oh yeah, I got it. Portuguese husband. Uh, I'm experienced in the commodity trading, so it's very broad how to position myself. Experience in the commodity trading nowadays is very valuable. Uh, you can definitely position yourself for this sector that's booming, or even adapting. I mean, banks, for example, they love commodities professionals, or even manufacturing companies as well. Commodity trading is very strong here in Switzerland. For example, if you are in Switzerland, Edri Sekist. Yeah, no, thank you very much. Really appreciate the feedback. Um, which companies' job titles are likely to sponsor working permits in Switzerland? Look, this is very common, to be honest. Um, the commodity sector, for example, they sponsor a lot, manufacturing as well. What I say is that they usually sponsor more technical skills, but to be fair, they sponsored mine 10 years ago in HR. So it is totally feasible. Transformation and change roles in London, booming, very good. Um, so I think we will need to continue tomorrow. Okay. So the team is just telling me here. Would love to speak more. It's great, great questions, great comments here. But tomorrow we still have a session, so let's get a good rest. Have a thought on everything that we've seen. If you have any questions to the team, feel free to ask. If you want and can enroll today is better. The team is telling me here that tomorrow the number of spots available and even the conditions will be be different. So they have a price policy that is increasing within the time. So it's really a special offer for you all. And yeah, so tomorrow we're going to continue. And thank you very much for joining. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks. Have a nice evening, everybody. Oh, the team is just asking me to wait a little bit. They need to. Okay. Thank you again. Have a nice evening and see you tomorrow.